feel it? The shift in the air? As I record this episode, we're at that moment in the year where winter is fading and spring is just around the corner. Nature is waking up and the seeds planted deep underground are about to push through the surface. But here's the key question. What seeds have you been planting? This week, we're talking about leveraging spring energy and getting intentional about birthing what you desire the rest of the year and the rest of your life. We want to make sure you're not just blindly working towards your goals, but sowing the seeds of success with soul deep satisfaction, because one without the other is a recipe for burnout, frustration, and a life that looks good on the outside but feels empty on the inside. So, I know that this is a struggle that a lot of us have had, and I know it's a struggle I've had personally. For years, I had all the markers of success. I was a high-ranking executive leading a powerful team, making money, and checking off all the external boxes of success. But deep down, I was miserable. I felt disconnected from myself, constantly chasing the next milestone and thinking maybe the next achievement will finally make me feel fulfilled and happy, but it never really did. I began to believe that success could not exist with satisfaction, and so I chose to settle for success. Success was the responsible thing to do. It provided safety for me and my kids. It met the expectations placed on me by society and family and gave me what looked like everything someone could want, except cultivating success, satisfaction, joy, and fulfillment. And let me tell you, without these things, success can feel like a prison. I was running on empty, literally being pulled in every direction because things that filled my cup were far and few in between. So if you're feeling like you're grinding every day but not truly fulfilled, if you're hitting your goals but wondering if this is all there is, I want you to take a deep breath and stay with me. Today we're going to talk about how to plant the right seeds, the seeds that can grow both success and deep satisfaction. To keep this accountable and grounded, I like to think of the process of sowing seeds in 5 steps. These are the phases you'll need to go through to clarify and take precise action to bring your innermost desires earthside. So your first step is to declutter. Here we can clean and clear the ground to ensure we have fertile soil. Before we can plant new seeds, we need to clear the weeds. And that means looking at what's cluttering your life and pulling your energy in wrong directions. Ask yourself, what feels like an energy, time, or money suck, leak, or block? Are you caught up in distractions like social media, toxic relationships, or people-pleasing activities? Are there habits, beliefs, relationships, or even professional roles you're engaging in that no longer align with your highest good? Are you carrying emotional baggage that keeps you stuck in a cycle of overworking, overproving, or giving away your power? If you don't clear the weeds, uproot what no longer serves you, the soil will not be fertile and the seeds we plant won't have the conditions to thrive. For me, this meant stepping away from a career that was draining me and walking towards entrepreneurship. Each time, it was the scariest thing I've ever done, and it did not come easy. Giving up the career I'd strived for so hard was painful. People looked at me differently when I had a title in a big company. Giving up on that identity as the glamorous executive, high achiever that collected accolade after accolade was painful. But clearing this space was what created enough space in my life that I could breathe, tend to the soil, and make room for something beautiful to grow later. So take a moment today to set the vision. Get clear on what has been, what you desire in the future, and what gaps stand in the way. What's taking up space and energy that shouldn't be? What needs to be weeded out of your life? Now, your second step is to discover and disclose. Now that you've identified some areas where you can free up space, time, and energy, it's time to decide what new seeds you'll plant. This is where a lot of people get stuck. They chase success based on someone else's blueprint, what society says, and what your family expects, or what looks on paper. But truth, satisfaction comes from discovering your own version of success. Just like if you were planting a real garden, you have to get clarity around what you want to grow. The actions you take around trying to grow, say a lush bed of salad greens, versus the steps you take to cultivate a rare, fragile orchid or an extremely different plant. It's not enough to simply clear the earth and see what pops up. If you want soul deep satisfaction, you need to become the master gardener. You're the architect of this landscape. So I want you to ask yourself, what lights me up? What work, activities, or relationships make me feel alive? What excites me? What feels energy rich? What have I always been drawn to, even if I've been afraid to claim it? Yes, dare to discover, or in some cases, remember what you would do if money weren't an issue. The answer to this is super valuable. Think about it this way. If I stripped away all the external expectations, did my inner work around ancestral chains or possible wounds, what kind of success would I create for myself? For me, I realized that true success wasn't about climbing the corporate ladder. It was about doing something more meaningful and contributing in a more personal way, and guiding women like you to find their own balance between achievement and alignment was what mattered to me. That was the seed I chose to plant first, and it opened the doors for the wildly successful, deeply fulfilling mentorship and coaching practice I have today. So what about you? What's calling you right now? What will you choose to plant and nurture in the coming months? Once you're clear on what you want to grow, your third step is to discernment. Just like we said a moment ago, the actions you take need to align with what you say you want to grow in your garden. This means taking another look at your life, your relationships, and your obligations, and weeding even more of what isn't aligned. In your first pass at decluttering, you probably got rid of the obvious stuff, the things you've known you should say no to for a while. But not every weed is easy to detect and to pull. Some are less obvious. They could be hidden and intricately under different circumstances, but they don't align with the vision you casted in step 2. A good example here is different opportunities that may come your way. It could be tough to turn down potential chances to grow and expand, but not every opportunity is aligned. Not every path will lead to both success and satisfaction. Many roads will take you to one versus the other, and finding that perfect combination of both requires careful discernment. So how do we know if we're planting the right seeds? We pay a lot of attention. You first ask yourself, how does it feel in our body? How does this opportunity feel? Are you experiencing excitement? Does it feel aligned, or are you experiencing resistance? You ask yourself whether the actions we're taking are nourishing us or keeping us busy. If the vision we're moving toward still lights us up when we're thinking about it, this is where intuition and self-trust come in. It's about knowing when to keep going and when to pivot. It's about following your intuition. Now, there are still 2 more steps to follow, but getting these first 3 steps right and understanding them is crucial. So we're going to stop here and spend this week really getting acquainted with these parts. Let's grow our garden and see what needs to come in. Next week, I'll be back with a deep dive on the weeding process. We're going to talk about spring cleaning, your business, and setting yourself up for success with a mindset of renewal, growth, invigoration, and inspiration. Then, once your vision is clear, your mindset is aligned, and your energy is sparkly clean, we'll talk about the final 2 action steps in this process. For this week, I want you to stay focused on being as intentional about your choices, your yeses, and your nos as possible. Clear the ground. Let go of what no longer serves. Plant the right seeds. Align with your deepest desires. Discern what truly belongs so you're growing in the right direction. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be alerted when the next video drops. And if you're open to sharing, I'd love to hear from you and receive your comments about what's coming up for you as we share this process. What specific steps will you take to ensure that your soil is fertile, your ground is clear, and that you have the energy and space it takes to grow the vibrant garden that will bring you success with satisfaction? Let me know your thoughts. For now, deep bow, and we'll talk again next week. Sending you lots of love and light.